Now if you are making the housing joint stool, I think it's easier to design this one upside down. So I'm going to put the top of the stool on bottom. So I'm going to hit R and draw on the bottom horizontal plane, and I'm going to zoom out actually, and I'm going to make it 250 mil by 350 mil. Turn. I'm going to zoom out more, drag this into the middle. I'm going to hit Q for pressing and pulling. I'm going to select that and make that 18 mil. So I'm going to use 18 mil birch plywood. And that's the bottom of my stool. That's actually the top of your stool. That should be way more interesting. I'm just going to leave it as a rectangle for simplicity. Now the next thing is we want to draw one of the legs. So I'm going to make another R for rectangle. I'm going to draw it based off of this face. I'm not going to connect it to it though. I'm going to draw it starting here, and I'm going to give it a height of maybe 220. And a width, I'll tab over to 250. And hit return. And I want to make this depth of 18. So I hit Q and 18 and that. Now I want to give it a shape. I'm going to go a very basic shape. Yours should be more interesting. I'm going to click that. I'm going to hit L for line, and I'm going to take that down to there. Take another line to there. I'll cut into the middle a little bit, and I'll make those. And I'm going to use Q to push those sections out all at once, and I can put in, let's say, negative 20, and that pushes them out. Got one leg, I want to make two legs. So I want to look just at this right side and drag this down. Maybe I'll look at, this is probably better. And I'm going to highlight just this part, and I'm going to copy. Then I can right click and I can paste. And now it looks like there's not a second one, but there is. It's just right on top of it. So I can move this second one by sliding the arrows. What's maybe best to just put in the distance. Let's say I want to make it go minus 50. And that is the right way, but I want it to go more than 50. I want it to go maybe minus 250. And that moves all the way over there. So I'm going to spend some time getting these put in exactly the positions I want based on changing these variables here. Now I've eventually moved them so they go down into the top of the stool a little bit, and that helps make them all one. You don't want floating pieces if you're going to 3D print a model, which we are. So now I want to rotate them a little bit. So I'm going to highlight this guy. I'm going to go to the move function again. I'm going to try and see which angle, maybe I can just use this one, and rotate it 10 degrees that way. And that's okay. I'm going to highlight this one and move that. I'm going to rotate this one 10 degrees that way. Now this one on the left, I don't know why that changed a little bit, and I can see part of another face. I don't know why it does that, but it turns out to not be that big of a deal. And now it's looking pretty good. Now I want to make braces that can serve as the housing joint to lend support to the legs. And so I'm going to look at this viewpoint and click on this face, and I'm going to make a rectangle floating up above here a little bit, and I'm going to draw it in the air first. And so I'm going to make it maybe 40 millimeters, and I'm going to use a thickness of wood that is not 18. I'm going with a thicker 24, and hit OK, and I'm gonna use Q to pull that to a distance let's try 300 and see how that looks. So when I at home, I've got this piece, which I think, okay, that's a good size. So let me highlight it and oops, highlight only that piece. And I'm gonna copy it, and then I will paste it, and it pastes it right on top of it. But I can move, if I change the viewpoint, I can move this other one over to here, and now I've got my two braces. You can then rotate them and move them into just the right place. That can be a very tedious thing, but it will be worth it for making your design good. So that's it.